Hello everyone, I am Smiti Chabra, your Miss Universe Delhi, and welcome to another episode of Unstitched with Smiti. Here we unravel and unfold stories from the fashion, modeling, and pageant world. So if you're someone who's interested around these topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you know somebody who would be interested, share our channel with them because the stories we share here are true and genuine. These are the stories that often skip the spotlight. And today, with us, we have none other than Mr. Puneet Kathuria. He is a pageant coach. He has a very different story. He was a model once and has broken all the records of being a main model by having around 25 plus awards in just 1.5 years. He is a pass out of Delhi University and has touched more than 50 plus fashion shows and events. He's also been on Hindustan Times, Times of India, and a lot more amazing platforms. Hello, Puneet. How are you? And welcome to the show.
Hi, Smiti. Thank you so much for calling me. I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm absolutely well. And to start off with, I want to know about your journey. How did you end up being in this industry, and how has your experience been so far?
Okay, so when I entered Hindu College, so I'm an alumni of Hindu College University of Delhi. So modeling was never initially my plan. I always wanted to do journalism. And then I got into my college and I have a good height. I'm 6'3". So everyone was after me that, you should give auditions for the Fashion Society. And I just randomly went for the auditions. I never knew what fashion was or whatever because I majorly was just focused on journalism. But then I just auditioned, and then people really liked my work, and I got the title of best work there. So that somehow gave me that hope that maybe let's give a try there as well. And since then, I am a firm believer of destiny and God's plan. So I just took it as a sign from God, and since then I'm just here following God's plan, and it is going really good.
So, how was it being a model in your, and you were still 23, right?
Yeah.
So, you're very young and you've done so much and so much different things. How was it being a model? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I feel it was a roller coaster ride because in the beginning I was not at all aware because no one really guided me like where should I go for auditions or anything. But I randomly started looking for castings, so I started with going for Delhi University competitions like the fashion shows, and I went in for like around 28 to 30 competitions, out of which I won 25. So that somehow gave me the hope, and then Times of India reached out to me for a shoot, and Hindustan Times reached out to me for a shoot where they gave me a budget of 1,000 rupees, and I had to makeshift an outfit out of that
Wow.
from Sarojini. So since then, I started going for castings because I took it as a step. It was a fair share of experience, I would say, but to be honest, I feel in India, modeling for guys is really difficult because of the competition and the lack of guidance, I would say. So that is why I started researching more onto it, and then I am here helping people and giving them a helping hand as to what they can do to begin their journey.
Right. As you mentioned, that modeling is a little difficult for guys in
Hmm.
India. I think modeling in general is difficult, but why would you say so, like for guys especially?
So I have had a lot of experiences where I felt that people wanted me to model in a certain way.
Okay.
So like I'm androgynous in general only,
Huh.
but I never liked just being labeled for that.
Hmm.
So like I was always either the showstopper or the show opener for my work, but primarily they used to call me as a showstopper or an opener just because I used to dress up in a certain way,
Hmm.
which somehow I did not align with because that was never my intention. And also, I feel the pay gap is really huge when it comes to guys and girls, and the kind of opportunities as well, because I'll be very honest, even today designers are like, even if there are no guys it is okay, but we need girls for sure, because for them glamour comes from girls
Yeah.
and they do not need guys at all. And
Hmm.
even today, if you will see in most of the shows, they'll have like 40, 45 plus female models, and male models would be barely 10 or 12.
Yeah.
And they'll keep continuing with those regular faces only who are in trend. So it became really difficult for me. And to be honest, there are a lot of other things as well. So you need to have connections in the industry with some certain people, and I never felt the need to do that. So I somehow stepped back. Like I
Makes sense.
plan to continue with it. Like that is why I'm here.
Uh-huh.
So the plan is to go so big, then then directly go to Paris and start
Right.
my modeling journey there.
So there's still scope for modeling in your life.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, I want to be a model only. You'll see me very soon in Paris or somewhere else. In the end, I want to do that only.
Amazing. And you also mentioned that there should be some connections with certain people or all
Yeah.
of those things. I want you to make the audience understand that what is it that is required
Hmm.
from their end if they want to become a model, a successful model in India.
Hmm.
What are the things that they should keep in mind? What are the things that they should avoid? And what are the things that they should be aware of?
Okay, so if you're a beginner and you're entering into the modeling industry, so definitely first, do not invest in your portfolio as such,
Mhm.
but invest in your Polaroids.
Okay.
Because when you're beginning, if you get a portfolio shoot done in like lakhs or something, when you're not groomed enough, when you do not know what the industry is exactly looking for, that money will go to vain. So first of all, you start with Polaroids, start sending them to agencies, like every agency, and you'll have to be really patient in this industry because it's not easy, because all the modeling agencies get like 1,000 plus entries, almost fair and share about 1,000 entries a day, and for them to recognize you out of those 1,000 people, it will take a lot of time, especially when you're a beginner.
Hmm.
Then keep your social media very polished and clean. Like it should reflect professionalism through every post, every story that you share, because that is like your portfolio today. Then if you're a content creator, start posting content related to modeling, start sharing your journey so that people can exactly see what you have and what you can offer to them. Because if you have followers today, you can get everything, to be honest, if you have that reach, because designers are looking for that, because they also want that fair share of exposure. And if you are looking for brand collaborations or brand deals, they'll also look at your followers and the kind of brand image you have presented on your social media profile. Then start sending your Polaroids to people who are doing modeling since like a couple of years only. So like start looking for people who are micro influencers, like
Hmm.
models who are micro influencers, who have like 5 or 10K followers. Go to their following, go to their captions, and look at the tags, the
Hmm.
hair and makeup artists that were there, the photographer, because if they have worked with them, then most probably they would be looking for a fresher face for their future projects as well. Then never pay for shows. Like a lot of people ask you for money to walk on the ramp. That is never how it works. And always do a background check for whatever casting
Hmm.
you go for, and also whatever show you plan for. In case of pageants as well, look at the reviews, look at the kind of work they have provided to their winners or their models earlier. And to begin with, you cannot expect that you will be heavily paid. Like in the beginning, I remember I have worked for almost 7 to 8 months for free
Hmm.
without being paid anything, but the connections that I got from there was something really that I will value for life, and the experience that I got from there, that I'm able to sit here now and guide other people. So focus more on exposure in the beginning, and then when you feel that you have attained a certain reach, or
Hmm.
when you feel that now you are at a position to charge, then first of all get your portfolio done, because then you will be in your best physique,
Yeah.
you will be in your prime. Then get your portfolio done in like 4 to 5 different looks, and then start charging.
That
So that
makes
is how you go about it.
That makes absolute sense.
Hmm.
That's what I've been telling people, that this is something that you need to do. And I'm so happy that we share like a common strategy for
Yeah.
them. So that is also the intent of this channel, to guide people who are
Hmm.
interested in these fields, because I personally lacked a lot of information when I wanted to start.
Hmm.
And I think so was the case for you.
Yeah.
And I hope that people who want to get into this industry get benefited from this.
Yes.
And to also catch up on what you said, that followers
Hmm.
and the reach really counts these days. Do you think it's okay that if you were a model, you also have to be an influencer? Because, as you said, brands are looking for people who have
Hmm.
good reach, but it's not necessary that a model is also an influencer. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
So this is like a very personal experience for me. So I do not have like that big of a number of followers,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel it's the impact that matters,
Hmm.
because 90% of the people, who come to me do not come to me for the followers that I have. They come to me for the work that I hold. But this is happening because now I have built a name for myself and people know me,
Hmm.
because I was involved in a lot of competitions in Delhi University. Then I've almost been everywhere. I never left any casting or anything during the time when I was struggling in this industry. So I've actually built a name for myself by my own, so that people at least know me by my face value. So now it is easier for people to trust me on my work. But if you're a fresher and if you do not have a good amount of followers, it will be difficult for you, I'll be very honest, because you will not get brand deals. The first thing, if a brand reaches out to you, they'll ask you to send them, your insights, and that will somehow decide if you'll get the brand deal or not.
Even for the shoots, like proper modeling shoots, also this is important, or you're
No,
saying like content creation wise?
content creation, but
Okay,
like I feel in today's world, modeling and content creation both will have to go together if you want to go long. And for shoots, you can, excel if you have a good face card, if you have maintained your physique, if you have, maintained your body, if there is, no, any room left for improvement. And if you're a beginner, that is why it is important to do test shoots. Like, most
hmm.
of the people are not aware of that. So just collaborate with small scale photographers. Even if you have to pay them a bit, pay them, but get good test shoots done, so that you have something to offer to the world. Like, if you're a beginner, even if you have one ethnic shoot, one high end shoot, one face shot, and polaroids, that would do the job in the beginning.
Right.
And if you cannot invest much, most of the people have iPhone, and you can use that as well in the beginning. And I would suggest, if you want to go and click good polaroids, always go for an iPhone.
Yeah.
That is the best. Like, go in natural sunlight and get your mid shot, full shot, and face shot, and that would do the job. But if you want to get into content creation as well, and if you want to go long in the run, and if you want visibility out of it, then it is required. Because I'll be honest, a lot of showstoppers in today's life are showstoppers just because they have a good reach and exposure. They are
Yeah.
not real models.
Right.
So that is how it works.
To sum what you said is, if you want to be a model,
Yeah,
definitely you have to work on yourself. But if you want to be a model who gets a variety of projects,
yeah,
you have to be kind of an content creator
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So yeah, that sums it up. For you, my next question is, how did the transition
Hmm,
from being a model to now a coach
hmm.
happened?
Okay, so it happened when I was at a fashion show. I was there as a judge in some college in 2023, and a girl came up to me. She was from LSR, and she just mentioned that you have a very good work and everything. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And then she randomly said that I'm going for some pageant. Can you train me?
Oh, lovely.
So I was like, what is a pageant work? I never knew what is a pageant work,
Until
because see,
2023?
yeah, see,
Wow.
I'll be very honest. I was never involved in pageants.
Huh.
And I don't know if I should say this, but I never knew, like, in which year Sushmita Sen won, or why are people so crazy about pageantry. Obviously, I was, a bit fascinated by modeling by then, but I was never into pageants. But then she was like, just teach me the way you walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pageant walk. So I never knew that I have a pageant walk, because I used to do a full turn when I used to perform in my competitions and everything. And I used to do the posing that usually happens in pageants, like the pivot turn, the T stance, S
Mm.
stance. So I used to do all of that, but I was never aware that it is a pageant walk. So she was trying since like a couple of years, and she was not, somehow moving ahead in her pageants. But then I trained her, and she was, I guess, in top eight.
Wow.
And then from there, Kanak came to me and Prakshi came to me, and I
Wow.
started training them, and then they kept winning. And then that is how I started moving ahead. And now 8 months back or 9 months back, I have opened my institute, which is Vinora Models. And that also, I just, I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's not think about anything, because I do not have a partner who is, helping me in this business, and I'm self dependent since the age of 14. So I'm doing everything by my own, but I just somewhere, I was in Golden Temple, and it was my birthday. So I just asked for a sign that if I should open an institute, and I somehow got a sign, and I just gave it a shot, and I'm glad I gave it a
That's so
shot.
good. Even I believe in science and
Yeah.
universe, and it actually works.
Yes.
Even if you don't believe in it, it kind of gives you motivation to just move ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you've trained models
Hmm.
and pageant contestants as well.
Hmm.
What is the difference between a model and a pageant contestant?
Okay, so when you are a model, so like I'll start with the walk first. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're a model, your walk has to be, the entire focus needs to be on the clothes that you're wearing,
Okay.
so that you do not outshine the garment. Because when you are at a runway, your walk has to be not too loud.
Hmm.
Your expressions should be very subtle, because otherwise, if people will remember you and not the garments, then how will the designer do the
Yeah.
business, right? But when you're in a pageant, it is mostly about your individuality, that what you have to offer, how your walk is,
Hmm.
what you look like, what is your mindset and everything. So modeling is more about something that you do for a designer or someone else, where the prime motto is to provide business for some designer, or
Hmm.
to help them sell out a few clothes. Like a lot of famous models, like internationally, when they used to wear clothes, like for Versace, if Naomi used to wear any clothes for them, by the next hour or something, all the collection was used to be out,
Yeah.
like sold out completely. So that's the motto of a model.
Hmm.
Like you should be good at it, and you should be, very toned down and everything, and a very lean body.
Hmm.
But in pageants, it's more about inclusivity as well.
Hmm.
If you, even if you're plus size, even if you fall into that category, you can come here. It's more about individuality and confidence that you
Yeah.
exhibit there.
Right.
So that's the basic difference for me in that. And if and I would say there is a certain clash between these two industries. Like these are two different aspects of the similar industry, but I feel designers are not looking for girls who are into pageants, and
Acha.
pageants are not looking for girls who are into modeling. I don't know why, but I have been observing this since so long.
Hmm.
Because a lot of agencies, if you'll go there, if they'll get to know that you are doing pageants,
Hmm.
they'll somehow ask you to, either step away from pageants
Acha.
and get into modeling completely. And if you're into modeling, they'll be like, either, if you're into pageants, they'll be like, okay, either you continue with your modeling or invest all of your time here. Because the
Oh.
kind of personality that you have in a pageant
Huh.
is not the personality that they're looking for in modeling. Because in pageants, you're very fun, lively, bubbly, and there are a lot of turns, hip movement, waist movement. And in modeling, they are looking for something which is very subtle,
Hmm.
a model to not have any expressions, any waist movement or hip movement,
Yeah.
and they just have to, walk in a line and not cross their legs. So there is a
Right.
lot of transition that is there between both the fields,
But I
basically.
beg to differ here
Yeah,
because I am a model first
yeah,
and then I am a pageant winner.
hmm,
And then ultimately, the goal of the pageant agencies is
hmm,
also like the organizations is also once the pageant is done, the winners from
hmm,
states or the finalists, they are the representative of the organization, right?
yeah,
Then they get work for them,
hmm,
be it shoots, shows, or acting
yeah.
projects. So, isn't it like pageant contestants at some point turn into models, or models at some time turns into pageant contestants?
So what I feel is pageant models, most of the times the work that they'll get would be beauty shoots,
Okay.
and shoots that are more focused on designers that have like a collection. Like you can do shoots and everything, but if
Hmm.
you want to get into, for
Runway.
say, Lakme If
Acha.
you want to do a runway show
Hmm.
where there is walk involved, then
Hmm.
you will face issues because you will have to completely tone down your walk.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people in this industry who know the difference between both the walks and they can shift it accordingly.
Right.
So the idea is not to get into one field so specifically that you leave onto the other
Hmm.
like completely, because then that will somehow hamper your work in either of the aspects. So the idea is to balance both of them and not, so like that is how you become versatile.
Right.
So because most of the girls, they just get into pageants and then they will focus on the work so much, then it is so difficult to uncondition that they cannot somehow do that runway work anymore,
Right.
because then your body gets conditioned to it. So the idea is to practice both the walks every day at least for an hour so that you have a gist of it.
That makes absolute sense. And a
Yeah.
good tip for the people who are watching it.
Yeah.
So, my next question to you is, when you see a contestant,
Hmm.
what are the things that you notice in her or him
Hmm.
that makes you believe that, okay, this person is a winner material or this person needs a lot of improvement?
Okay, so I'll go with the winner material first.
Yeah.
Eye contact is everything for me. If,
Okay.
yeah, so like when you are entering the stage and if you're looking at the panel and you're maintaining that eye contact throughout,
Hmm.
and if you have a good smile, that is everything for me. No matter if you have the technicality in your work or not, though I am a ramp walk coach, but confidence is everything. You can, like, when I started my modeling, when I was not good with my strides or the footwork that I have today, I used to manipulate them with my eye contact. I never used to break my eye contact so that they do not get to look anywhere else on my body. So
Yeah.
my eye contact was always so strong and it made me stand out in so many ways, and
Hmm.
you appear confident in so many ways
Hmm.
when you have that eye contact. So if I have to choose a winner, I'll look at the eye contact and the kind of expressions and the smile that the person has.
Hmm.
And for a lot of improvement, if you're entering the stage and not looking at the audience, if your shoulders are slouched, if your
Hmm.
posture is not correct, and if you're doing too much and not following a line,
Hmm.
that is somehow, I get that vibe that maybe the person needs to work a lot on their work or their personality.
Right.
So like either you fake it till you make it with the eye contact, otherwise you actually get into the technicalities and then move ahead. So
Makes.
for this, mirror work helps a lot,
Hmm.
because I'll be honest, every one of us have a lot of insecurities, no matter how perfect we look. Like, you know, uh, I don't know, we get like thousands of compliments every day, all of us, but we know how difficult for us it is. Like, all
Yeah.
of us has some things that we are always insecure about. So, but when you do mirror work, that somehow diminishes. Like, at least you build an illusion out of it. You know how to not reflect it on people.
Hmm.
So like you just have to stand in front of the mirror, like very close to it, and then just observe yourself so that you get comfortable in your own skin. And then the kind of eye contact and the kind of confidence that you will have in yourself and the kind of self aware you will get after that will be something that then no one will be able to stop you from going anywhere, because then you're self aware.
That makes so much sense. I even practice
Hmm.
by making videos of me so
Yeah.
that I can know, like, okay, these are my imperfections, but also these are my plus points so that I
Exactly.
work on them more and
Hmm.
enhance those skills and definitely work on my weak spots as well.
Yeah.
And as you said that we as models or we as pageant people have a lot more insecurities than the world thinks. And there has actually been a study on this,
Hmm.
that the people the world find like amongst the most beautiful looking, good looking people are the ones that are the most insecure about themselves
Yeah.
because they know their little tiny bit of flaws as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And for you and
Hmm.
for the girls who are watching this, what are the three basic steps that you keep in mind while you are training them?
Hmm.
Because not everybody can afford a professional training, right?
Hmm.
So, for the people who want to learn ramp walk at home and as a trainer,
Hmm.
you, what are the three things that you do when you train your girls?
Okay, so I first of all work on the posture
Mm-hmm.
because most of the girls, because like not just girls, but when I was in school as well, so I used to carry a very heavy bag, and we always, used to slouch in a way because we were always
Yeah,
so tired after school. But that somehow, makes your posture a certain way, and then you keep slouching.
true.
And especially when you are tall, and especially when you are in these fields, it gets very difficult for you to then correct your posture.
Mm.
So first thing that you need to work on is your posture, that your shoulders are pulled back, your lower back is always straightened, and there
Mm.
is a C section in your body. So
Mm.
the C section is basically like, these are all my signature tips and techniques that I've just turned into some technicalities. So the C section is basically the section between your shoulders and your hips. So
Okay.
when your lower back is out, there is a
Mm.
C formation in your body.
Mm.
So you have to have that C formation in your body, and
Like a
then
curve.
yeah.
Mm.
So like it's like an inverted C,
Yeah.
right? So that's the C section, and also that just make sure that your knees are not bending.
Mm.
Then there is this L section in your hand while walking. So when you're walking, this should be the section, and
Right.
so that your hand is only divided into two parts, like this is one section
And
and
this
this
is
is the
the
other
other.
section, because most of the people move their
This
hands
also. Yeah,
separately. Yeah,
yeah. And
then
sometimes like this.
yeah, so you have to, for this as well, you just keep your hands straight and then just bend your fingers a bit, and
Yeah.
this is how you look
Walk.
elegant throughout walking, because then you somehow manage the weight in your body. So that's the
Mm.
first thing that I work on, like posture check. Then secondly, I work on their aura. That's the main thing that I'm known for. Like, you just give me one session and I will compliment that girl so much on her plus points. So my main motto of coming into this industry was uh, making girls feel pretty about themselves and making them feel seen and heard in every way possible.
Mhm.
I don't know if I should say this, but a lot of people are not comfortable wearing bikinis or swimsuits, like even in their trainings and everything. But the moment they come to me, barely in their second session, they'll themselves come up to me and be like, "Let's do a bikini walk," and that's a win for me, because that girl felt so comfortable,
Mm.
and she felt that confidence in herself, that she's even ready to come out of her insecurities. So aura is something that I work on the most. Then the third thing that I work on is their expressions, because that can change the game. So I make them do a lot of mirror work as a beginner, because they need to figure out their plus points, and they need to
Mm.
figure out their angles, so that they do a walk which is actually according to their body type. So
Yeah.
that is what I focus on. All of my contestants have a different walk, like entirely. All of the turns and choreographies that they do are entirely different,
Mm.
because if you are a plus size model, you
Mm.
cannot do much of side profile posing,
Mm.
because otherwise it will somehow make you look bigger, because that is an illusion.
If you are a plus
Plus
size
size
model,
model.
side won't work.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Huh.
obviously, like, this portion will be more enhanced.
Like
Yeah,
from here.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have to majorly focus on either poses like S pose or L
Huh.
pose, so that there is an illusion, right?
Right.
And if you are someone who is like tall, then you can like majorly focus on everything, but not on the back profile much, because then somehow all the attention would be on your height. One will recognize your face.
Right.
So according to body type as well, and the kind of hip movement you have, the kind of footwork that you have to keep changing the technicalities for that. So I do not go by a fixed rule. I give everyone the work according to their body type and whatever they are comfortable in, so
Mm.
that they feel good about themselves, because I'm not going to be walking on the stage. I have
Yeah.
to make them feel good about themselves, so
Mm.
that when they are walking, it is coming naturally and it is not looking like they are pretending to walk. So that is why mirror work is like really important.
Mm.
And the moment a girl steps in to my studio, instead of just focusing on the negativity, because that they are already focusing on, that my walk is not good, my footwork is not good, I'll tell them how pretty they are,
Mm.
how pretty her features are. Because most of the girls, even the girls who are into plus size modeling, they are into plus size modeling because they have a few diseases that cannot be helped, like PCOS, PCOD. And they are so much into it and stressed about it, and they're already having a hard time in life. And then if I'll just give her an advice that, you know what, you just go on a water diet or go on something, they already know that. And they have been trying to do that already. So the idea is to not to fit in, because
Hmm.
I never,
Fit in.
yeah,
Yeah.
I always stand out in my own ways, no matter whatever people say.
Hmm.
So that's the idea, to help them also, cherish their individuality in every way possible.
Right. We've also talked multiple times in this conversation that there are a lot of insecurities in girls,
Yeah,
negativity that you said, maybe certain things that the society thinks are flaws. Because
yeah,
I myself have faced that. You know, even after winning the pageant, I was told by somebody that okay, you won a pageant, you are pretty, you're good looking, but you're not that standard type of pretty. You're not that standard
okay.
type of good looking. I was like, what? I didn't know that about myself. And
Yeah.
then I went into a loop of self doubt. And maybe somewhere in the
Hmm.
pageant also, I kind of felt at times that maybe I'm
Hmm.
not pretty. And during the training process, like my 6, 7 years that I prepared and
Hmm.
trained myself for the pageants, a lot of times people told me, you don't have a good smile, work on that.
Hmm.
Your hair is not good, so get a treatment done.
Hmm.
Your weight and your body proportions are not right, so keep working on that. So
Hmm.
for good 6, 7 years, I was not sure of who I am, and that reflected in my modeling career, that reflected in
Yeah.
pageants as well. So do you think that pageants are
Hmm.
there to empower women, or they are there to enhance their securities, be it the contestants, be it the people who are watching it, because then they
Hmm.
get an idea that this is a prototype of a beautiful girl?
Hmm.
What is your take on that?
So my take is pageants are there to empower, but the people around you, like the society basically, not even the people who are into pageants, like, but your friends, your family members, the people who are in this industry, your competitors, are the ones who will, pinch on your insecurities.
Hmm.
Because to me, in my eyes, like till the time I was a child, I was the most secure person. But the moment I started growing up, the more I started opening up about my insecurities with the people around me,
Hmm.
the way they used to look at it was something that made the change, not in a positive way.
Hmm.
So it takes a lot of toll on your mental health, to be honest. Pageants are obviously there to empower, because anyway they are providing you a platform. Like, there are a lot of pageants who have plus size models in their pageants, they have extremely thin girls in their pageants, they have mid-sized models or
I'd like
pageant girls
to
in their
take an
pageants.
example of our Miss Universe India here.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt
yeah,
you, but I have seen like a variation of the
yeah,
kind of contestants they have.
yeah, exactly. So they promote inclusivity in every way possible that they have. And but still, the people around you, the family members, your friends, they'll always keep telling you something or the other thing. But that is why it is very important to be self-aware.
Hmm.
Because see, if I know that I have something which is not right about me and I'm aware of it, and if someone will tell it to me about it, I'll be like, okay, I know about it, what else? Like, the impact won't be that bigger, because
Hmm.
I have already acknowledged that and I am settled in for that. So now
Hmm.
I'm, very okay with that, that okay, this is the thing and I cannot change that. So, like, for an example, a lot of my students, they are like 5 feet 1 or 5'2". Can you change that? No. And everyone used to tell them, like, I'll not take the names of these students, but they were the state winners of
Hmm.
Miss Universe India. And
Amazing.
yeah, but everyone used to tell them that you're 5'2", you won't win, maybe just, invest your money in studies or something else, because you'll regret it later on. But the more you take it into positivity and the
Hmm.
more you take it as a fire in you, the more ahead you'll go.
Yeah.
Because that is my personal experience as well.
Yeah.
The moment I started in this industry, not even the moment I started, so I was never good in studies, to be honest. Till 8th or ninth, I used to score like 9 out of 100,
Wow.
5 out of 100, 15 out of 100, or something like that. And then suddenly in 10th, my dad became so scared that how will I pass my boards, because schools mein to ho jata hai. But in 10th, my dad was like, we come from a doctor's family and it's all on you, you'll ruin our reputation and everything. And then I just started studying for the last 1 month, and I secured 92% in boards in 10th.
Wow.
Then I secured 93.5% in 12th. So,
Amazing.
and I never took tuitions. So I was like, it was always there in me, but
Hmm.
I just had to,
Channelize it. Yeah.
work on it and channelize it.
Yeah.
And from there only my belief in God also generated. So I never used to believe in God as well, but intense. So like I feel all of my life is built on Goddess Saraswati. So like entirely, even the name
Hmm.
of Vinora comes from that and everything.
What does that mean, Vinora?
So Vinora basically stand. So as I told you, I feel deeply about Goddess Saraswati, and
Hmm.
I'm like whatever I am today and whatever I have in my life, and the kind of situations she has helped me to come out of is just because of her. So she carries a Veena, and I'm all about aura building in people.
Oh,
So Veena plus aura, Vinora.
amazing. That's very
Yeah,
creative.
yeah. So it's always about how you channelize your creativities that you already have it in
Hmm.
yourself. You just need to look for it. Hmm.
Do you also think that pageants from maybe the early 90s
Hmm.
till now have changed, and have they changed in a good way, or is there something that you would want to have back from those years?
So, what I would want back from those years would be that people were never too focused on the kind of gowns you wear
Hmm.
and the kind of makeup and hair that you have. It was more about your advocacy, beauty
Hmm.
with a purpose,
Hmm.
and it was majorly focused on that. Like, instead of just focusing on glamour,
Hmm.
even today, like, we are not just focusing on glamour, but to be honest, I feel a lot of girls are taking up advocacies just before a month of their pageants, and they are not really working for it, because I have been noticing this since so long that a lot of students also, like not my students but a lot of random girls also reach out to me that I am associated with a few people who are a part of some NGOs. So they'll be like, can I do a cleanliness drive with them because I need it for my pageants? I'll just go, I'll just clean
Hmm.
something and I just need photos and videos out of it. Or maybe can I just, do some animal welfare for my pageants because a pageant is coming up. So I feel a lot of people are into this because they want to get into acting out of it,
Hmm.
right? So that is why they're using it as a platform, just as a
Right.
step up stone, so that they can attain the bigger goal that they have in their
Hmm.
life. So using these platforms with this exposure just for your personal benefit is something that I do not like, because earlier, if you look at Sushmita Sen, Priyanka Chopra, they were so serious about their advocacies, and even now they are working towards it.
Yeah.
So it should not be a medium for you to just move ahead for a couple of months, and majorly it should be about creating a real impact. So instead of like, even I have seen a lot of people who are like more focused on their wardrobe, hair, and makeup. They'll not invest that money on their training, they'll not invest their money on communication or social work or anything else that matters in that pageant, but they'll be more focused on their outer appearance, that my gown needs to be perfect. Like it should stand out, it should be a Thailand based designer or something like that. So I feel that is something that I do not like about the current
Hmm.
pageant ecosystem. And then, like, I'm sharing this from my personal experience. So I have had a lot of students who after winning have ghosted me,
Oh.
or who have like never even acknowledged the part that I trained them. So I feel lack of values also is there, because even if you look at dance and singing today, gurus are like treated as the like as something
Next
like
to
their
God.
parents, yeah.
Yeah.
But in this industry, and this has been happening so like consecutively, and this is so common, and not just with me, this is
Hmm.
with almost every trainer in this industry. And
Hmm.
whenever we meet, we talk about these things and we are like, how can people be like this? Because I've literally seen interviews of my students where they'll be like, I've never taken any training,
What?
I'm self-taught. So the kind of image that they have in their mind, that they do not want to show that they took training for something. They want to be shown as someone who did everything by herself. Maybe it gives them the ego boost or something. So I feel there's a lot of lack of respect as well in this industry for the people who are actually working for them. So even let it be the makeup artist, hair artist, and everything who are working day and night for you, the moment they'll find a better one, they'll start saying bad things about them. So that is now how it works.
Yeah.
So that is something I feel is another major thing that people actually need to focus on, that never compromise on your values, because there will be a time in your life where you will regret that, because I believe in karma, and especially in my life, it happens very quickly.
Girls, be aware.
Yeah.
Also, as you talked about passion training and
Hmm.
grooming and all
Hmm.
the things that are actually required for you to be a good contestant, a lot of times people question
Hmm.
that is it even worth spending a lot of money for trainings,
Hmm.
because obviously your amp training, your communication,
Hmm.
maybe understanding your body type and wardrobe analysis, makeup, hair, all of those things require a certain amount of investment,
Hmm.
and a lot of people question that.
Yeah.
So what is your say on that, that is it required for you or a contestant to invest that much amount in training,
Hmm.
or is it okay even if they skip that part?
Okay, so I'll start with my own experience only. So I've never taken any training. So everything that I learned was from YouTube and online.
Hmm.
So I always used to follow the technicalities of Putra Pasarela and Luco HM. So there are a lot of coaches available online as well,
Hmm.
but not everyone can adapt that so quickly. And considering the time frame that you have, it took
Hmm.
me 2 years, almost 1.5 years,
Hmm.
to learn the basics only out of it. Because when you are learning it in online mode, and especially when the person is not teaching you and you're just learning from their walking videos, so it becomes really difficult. So suppose I need to go for a pageant in 6 months, I cannot just learn from the videos that are provided there. So look for institutes who have a reasonable amount of price
Hmm.
and who are offering a package that has everything included into it. And like everything, by everything I mean at least it should include ramp walk, communication, basic makeup and hairstyling for your pageants, and something that works on your flexibility like dance or yoga. So even if they're offering that, then that
Hmm.
is enough. But there is a myth in this industry that if you are charging more, then the course is of very good quality, because I have personally faced that, because my charges are very reasonable, and a lot of people would question me that okay, then the quality might not be good,
Okay.
because they want a hi-fi course. They want it to be of a certain price, so that they feel okay, I'm investing in a good place.
Hmm.
Because my course is of 9 days and the price for that is very reasonable, and obviously even I feel that. But my major motto was that only, that let's keep it something so that everyone can afford it. But even if you cannot afford that, there are online sessions available for a lot of other trainers as well. Like I also provide them, but a lot of people provide online courses in like 10,000, 15,000. So you can start with that, so that at least you are thorough with your basics, because at least you should know the T pose, S
Hmm.
pose, L pose, because these are the things that matter.
Yeah.
No one is asking you to take like a choreography for everything. Like for swimsuit, for evening gown, you can develop that if your basics are right.
Hmm.
Because if your basics are right, then you can look at the past winners, then try doing that and add your individual touch to it. So it's always good to look at the background, and instead of going by the myths, instead of going by the prices, look at the kind of work that the trainer has done or the academy has done in the past few years. And if you cannot invest much into it, start working on the basics, at
Hmm.
least online.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is there a difference between training a contestant who wants to compete for a state or a national pageant
Hmm.
and between a person who wants to go for an international pageant?
Yes, there's a lot of difference, because when you're going for a state level pageant, so like first chance there are 40 girls in a pageant and competing from different states. So the kind of competition that will be there, so people there are competing for national pageants. So
Hmm.
somehow, like all of those other girls are from India only, so
Hmm.
they have the access to the same trainers only, right?
Yeah.
So like there are these 6-7 academies in total, I believe, who are into pageants, like really into pageants. So everyone is taking training somehow from these 6-7 academies only. There will be a very few people who will go internationally for nationals. So the kind of work everyone will have would somehow be the same only, right? So the kind of actual impact that will, actual change that will matter there would be your communication or your Q&A. That
Okay.
needs to be, actually
Top notch.
self-taught. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no one can teach you communication. They
Yeah.
can just give you the techniques, like you can use the crown framework or stage equation while answering or things like that. But the kind of knowledge that you need to have, the kind of preparation that you need to do for it, like I feel you can get into the top 10 with a ramp walk, but then to move ahead from that, it all depends on your Q&A and the kind of voice modulation, articulation that you have, the kind of critical thinking that you have. If you are, authentic but also rehearsed, like you do not have to be too authentic, you have to rehearse your authenticity
Yeah.
as well at times, and the kind of narrative that you present with your communication. So all of these things matters a lot as well. So in nationals the training is done according to that, but when you go for internationals, there are like thousands of trainers available. So every trainer is like at their top notch level. So they'll do their best, because then you're representing a country. So when you're representing a state, maybe you're representing lakhs of people, right? But when you're representing India, you're representing billions of people. So then the responsibility, the weight of it becomes really big.
Right.
So you have to train according to that then.
To make it a little more clearer, what you said, that all the national trainers who are available, like for the national pageant and the state pageant, are equally good.
Yeah.
But the only limitation, I would say, there are very few. All of
Yeah.
them are equally good, but there are
Yeah.
few. That's why it somehow gives an illusion that work might be similar.
Exactly.
But when you go internationally, then there are a lot more options available. So each contestant who comes and represents their country is different, even in work.
Yeah.
And then communication is definitely to
Yeah.
be
The major
taken
point.
care of. Yeah. So that is one thing. And another round about pageants, beauty with a purpose, as you mentioned earlier also. Nowadays, a lot of people are started questioning that beauty with a purpose somehow requires you to raise a certain amount.
Yeah.
And then that gives you a direct entry in the finale. And that is there for all the pageants that are happening. What is your stance on that? Because in my questions that I put on Instagram stories, I've gotten multiple questions that, is it a way to secure a position? Is it fair? Or it's just one placement that's going with that title? How do you, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, so I feel obviously that is important these days, but I do not feel it is fair,
Okay.
because like that's my personal experience, personal opinion basically. So if I were to go for a pageant and if I were asked to raise a certain amount of money just to secure a spot in top 10, I would not do that. I'll be really honest, because I feel the kind of work that I'll do on myself, I'm preparing to be the winner then, not to get into the top 10.
Right.
So that somehow reflects my insecurity of not securing a spot in top 10. That is why I'm doing that. Right. And if that amount is actually going to go for a good cause or a social cause, and if we are getting details about it, that where that money is going, then I would happily do it. If it is somehow benefiting the poor, or if it is somehow benefiting for animal welfare, climate change, then it is okay. But doing it just for the sake of securing a position is not fair, because pageantry was never about that. It was always about building a change. You can invest that amount of money because it is in lakhs and it is huge, because it is a competition, and then not everyone can afford that much of amount, right? Because then that somehow loses the essence of a pageant. And then with that, you can somehow secure a spot in top 10, but you will be only be able to win because of your communication skills, with the kind of skill set that you have, with the kind of ramp walk that you do, the kind of impact that you have in people. So that is what matters more, I feel, and I genuinely don't think it is fair. Like you can, uh, you know, otherwise provide the participants with the actual details of it, that where that money is actually going, because in earlier times I don't think so that was ever a point there. And also the voting system is there to create hype about it, so this somehow you know doesn't let a lot of people get into the industry, only because the kind of resources you're already spending a lot on your wardrobe. So wardrobe, then your training and everything, because it is not easy. Like, for a lot of people, even you know investing a lakh of rupees is a big deal.
Absolutely.
Because most of the girls, 90% of my students are self-dependent. Their parents do not support them for pageants at all, so they're already funding. So like, I have a lot of students who are like saving money since 6-7 months just to enroll into my course.
I did that.
Yeah, so that is what I'm saying. And then if you have to invest like 15 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, or a big amount like that just to secure a spot, it is not fair. And that somehow demotivates all the other participants who come from a middle class family. So the I feel the best part is when you work on your skill set so much that you do not have to even worry about the top 10 spot.
Right.
Because when you prepare for a pageant, you either prepare to be the winner or to create an impact.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
So, to conclude what you said, that if you're going for a pageant and you're pretty sure that you are there to win, then work on your skills.
Yeah.
But if you just want to secure a placement, then, and if you have resources, then
Yeah.
maybe invest into that. And my question for this particular topic came because of the recent controversies that have been happening, be it paid voting,
Yeah.
be it paying to get crowned, or be it getting paid to have a placement.
Yeah.
That is completely challenging the authenticity of pageants.
Yeah.
And I myself, being a fan of pageants, feel very insecure when people question our authenticity or they do not
Exactly.
take pageants seriously. What is your say on that, and how can we remove these things from the industry?
So see, if one girl is doing that, the whole industry would be questioned on that.
Yeah.
Because then, because not in everyone's eyes you will be pretty, right? So for me as well, a lot of people find me really pretty. Like, people call me Krishna ji or Ram ji, that I
Oh,
look
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Now I can
Right?
agree.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people who will be like, you don't look good at all, or maybe, whatever thing. So not in everyone's eyes will be pretty. So for those people, they'll think that I have secured that placement with the help of money. Right?
Okay.
And then it becomes very difficult for us to explain that no, we worked hard for it, right? So the point is not to explain them our point, but to change it, I feel it has to be done by the people who are running these pageants. Because I don't think so, like, I'm not very sure about it, but I don't think so it is a specific criteria that you have to do it. I feel it is just uh, there for business purposes. I'll be honest. I'll be really honest here.
Yeah.
So, but I feel they also have a lot of expenses to bear, like hosting it on such
But
a
get
big
it from
plat.
sponsors,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. You can always get it from sponsors, and
Yeah.
then from state directors, to be
Yeah,
honest, because
yeah.
you're obviously
But
there are
eventually they'll
franchises and
also have to
everything.
get it from their sponsors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, anyway, this should not be a criteria, because a lot of girls do feel demotivated about it, and even when girls come to train with me as well. So I'll not take the names of those people, but a lot of people in this industry say that, I do not want, uh, you know, Puneet's talents to be our uh, what contestants, because they are not that rich and they cannot invest money, and they were
I got
told
it.
that.
What you are saying
Yeah,
and
and
who you are referring to.
yeah, and they were told that. On the
Just
basis.
no, just to spice it up,
Yeah,
Puneet's talents go for Femina, go
yeah,
for Miss Universe, uh, for teen categories as well.
yeah.
So whatever names I've not taken till now, you can make it out very easily who he's talking about.
So, like, not specifically targeting anyone, but
Yeah.
generally, I have heard that a lot, you know, that my girls cannot pay because my girls are authentic, my girls know their values, and any of my batch, before starting it, I do keep a Sundarkand part so that they get placed.
Lovely.
And touch wood, like, all of the girls who are trained by me, 99% of them are placed. And that is what I plan to do. So because they do not need to pay, they have that skill set, and हनुमान जी का हाथ है उनके ऊपर, सरस्वती माता है उनके साथ, तो उनको ये सब चीजों की जरूरत नहीं है.
Amazing, because a lot of people also question कि इसने पे किया होगा, that's why she's gotten into that position.
Yeah.
If I had to pay
Hmm.
to get a position, I would have done it 5-6 years ago. No,
Exactly,
why would
exactly my
I wasted
point.
so many years of
Yeah.
my life to get to a certain
Yeah,
position
either
and
just
then
tell
quit?
that girl in the beginning only that this is how it works, so that she
Yeah.
will so if she can afford it,
Hmm.
she'll buy it there and then. Otherwise she'll at least not waste her time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that should never be the case. Sadly, this is going on in this industry, and it is there obviously, but it should not be that. If it is the national pageant fee that you have to give to, represent nationally or internationally, then that's a different thing.
And that should be clearly stated.
Yeah, that this is the national fee and we are charging you that. But just charging for the sake of, running a business or getting extra money out of it is not fair, because pageants were, that is what I said, never about money.
Right.
It was always about purpose. So yeah.
So, my final question to you before we enter the rapid fire round is, somebody who's watching this wants 3 tips from you so that they can ace into a pageant.
Okay.
So, what would your 3 tips would be?
So my first tip would be that work on your posture. So my first tip would be work on your posture, start doing yoga. If you are into gym, stop doing gym. Otherwise, just do cardio and do minimum weightlifting, because otherwise your body will become stiff. Focus more on dance, yoga, and everything. Then second tip would be become so self-aware and start working on your communication, start reading a lot of books. And a pro tip would be start watching a lot of podcasts and everything. You can start listening to Priyanka Chopra. Like when she speaks, she makes absolute sense, and the kind of modulation and articulation she has in her voice is amazing. Then third would be start practicing your work every day, like at least for a couple of hours every day, and start recording your progress in your phones and cameras, and keep looking at the camera projection, voice modulation, and the kind of posture that you have, the kind of communication skills that you have. Record that as well, and at least do a self discovery questionnaire, so that you know yourself through thick and thin, so that you can answer all of the questions at least about yourself. Thank you.
Those were some valuable tips, and anybody who's listening to this, please follow because they are genuinely going to help you.
Yes, for sure.
And now moving on to the rapid fire round, so you have to answer very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question for you is your favorite ramp walk queen of all time.
Naomi Campbell.
Agreed.
Yeah.
One word that describes a winning contestant.
Confidence.
Absolutely. Most overrated thing in a pageant.
Gowns, I would say.
A
Yeah.
lot of people would disagree with you at a time, but
Yeah,
that's your opinion.
but I genuinely feel that, because that's not everything.
And one most underrated skill in a pageant.
Your ramp walk.
It's important.
Yeah, but I have seen that people, once they get into top 10, after that they genuinely do not look at the walks at all. Like at
Okay.
least the pageant pages I'm talking about, they will completely, focus on the kind of gown that you're wearing. That is why I said that I feel gowns are
Overrated.
overrated, because a lot of pageant pages will be like, look at her gown, look at her gown, before she even speaks or she even walks. So that somehow gives a privilege to people who can get it outsourced from somewhere else.
Makes
So I
sense.
feel walk and communication needs to be more put upon. Yeah.
Agreed. Biggest strength a girl can have on a stage.
Biggest strength, her skill set,
That includes
her communication skills, her ramp walk, and the kind of wit that she has.
that's
Humor also.
that's missing these days.
Yeah, wit and humor. Like, making every answer funny. Like, not funny basically, but like fun, because,
Smartly answering.
yeah,
Yeah.
smartly answering it, but also fun, because the judges are already tired of everything, and listening to such
Hmm.
difficult answers and everything that has a lot of emotional weight into it, so they would also want something fun out of it.
Yeah, just come out of world peace.
Yeah.
They want genuinity and authenticity
Exactly,
from your end.
exactly.
Okay, so the next one is dream country you'd love to train a winner from.
Thailand.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting. One habit that separates a winner from other contestants.
Grooming.
It's important.
Yeah, how well groomed she is. Yeah.
Your favorite confidence booster for a contestant.
I feel I would say spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
because that is what I feel has worked for me and still works for me. Like whenever I feel underconfident or a bit nervous, so like even before the podcast started, I was feeling a bit nervous. So I was like, Jai Mata Di, let's go. And it went pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I hope you guys enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
So the next one is, if not a trainer or a model, what would you be doing right now?
I'll be either a Bharatnatyam dancer or an anchor or a writer, so like, or a cook, like a chef. So I'm basically um, a multitasker, so I know how to do everything. So
Amazing,
yes, so I had a lot of things in my mind before
yeah. Hmm.
I started, my preparations into this field, because obviously it required a lot of work for myself as well to do.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do everything, and obviously a singer, so I'm trained.
Wow. All
Yeah.
of these things are from the creative side
Yeah,
only.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Are pageant pages and their hype relevant for a contestant to win a pageant?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel it is really important, because see, you become aware of people who are not even, there at the auditions by then.
Hmm.
So they'll create so much hype, and obviously that is what I mentioned about social media,
Haha.
that people would be aware about you before even you go there. So the other girls somehow feel, a bit put aback that okay, some girl is coming up. So the kind of reach that they have, because a pageant page already has the following of only those people who are into pageants.
Right.
So if you want to be famous in that pageant ecosystem, and if you are a fresher getting into the industry, then I would invest. I If I were there, I would no. If I
I
were
had a question for that.
there, no. But like if I were there, I would somehow do collaborations with those pages. Not invest,
So,
but
no,
invest my time and
no,
effort.
I have a question for that
Yeah,
because when I was there for my Miss Universe 25 journey,
yeah,
a lot of pageant pages approached me to
yeah.
get paid promotions and paid
No, I'm not
collaborations.
mentioning about paid
Listen to
promotions.
it.
Yeah.
I said that at this moment I do not intend on doing this.
Mhm.
But the very next day or within a few hours, I saw other girls and their posts on their
Yeah,
pages, and it's like, what?
yeah. Hmm.
So, is it relevant or is it important that you do or you go on that track
Hmm.
so that you get a placement in your pageant?
No, not for that, but if you want visibility out of it,
Huh,
if you want exposure, if you want people to be, people to know you,
huh,
even before you get into the pageants, because you would have seen a lot of pageant pages promoting like Road to Miss Universe India, Road to Femina Miss India, Road to Miss Grand India, so like
huh.
things like that.
Yeah.
So for that, if you want, then obviously it will somehow, help you get that reach. But
Hmm.
otherwise, if you're doing it just for the placement, then obviously it depends on your skill set only, as I said earlier.
Right. So, the influence you have on these pageant pages
Yeah,
is not directly related to your placement in the pageant.
exactly. Because, like, I'll be honest, I have a lot of friends who do run these pageant pages, and whatever the promotion they do, I don't think so it is paid. Like, I have asked them,
Uh-huh.
so they are doing it for their fun.
They love
And
for
yeah,
pageantry. Yeah,
their
I
love
know a
for
few
pageants
pages
and
like
everything.
that.
Yeah. So try collaborating with those pages. I'll not take the names, but you'll figure out it on your own.
Right. So, my final question to you is, one piece of advice you wish you got in your younger age. Like you're already young, but a
Yeah.
few years from now.
Then be easy on yourself, because I feel I took everything as a challenge in my life, and at a very young age where maybe I could have enjoyed my life and lived that moment, but I somehow, lost that innocence in myself because I was too focused on being a certain way, and I always felt that maybe I'm not doing enough. So you're always enough for yourself, and success is not always, getting fame and having a luxury life. It is more about creating impact. So that is the advice that I would give to myself.
Amazing piece
Yeah.
of advice. And to everybody who's watching this, if you want to become a pageant contestant, if you want to win a pageant, before anything, just remember one thing, that pageants are a part of your life. They are not
Yeah,
your entire life.
exactly.
Do not think that if I don't win a certain title, my life is going to end.
And
Because that's not the case. You
hmm,
win a pageant or you lose a pageant, your life anyhow continues.
yeah,
So do not uh, maintain your self esteem based on a title. They
yeah,
are good, they are important, but even if not, it's okay. You'll come out as a better person, more confident, stronger version, and you'll be happier if you do not let your happiness be determined by your placement in any pageant. And that was it for today. It was lovely having you, Puneet. Thank you for being my guest.
thank you
I
so
hope
much,
to see you
Smiti, for
very
calling
soon.
me. It was a very nice experience, and I've seen your journey. And this is what dedication and hard work looks like. Like 6 years,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah,
seven,
six,
six, seven, yeah.
six, 7 years into it, and just look at her. She's here doing a podcast with all the people who are a part of this industry.
Yeah.
So you just need to trust the plan, and things will unfold. So thank you so much, Smiti, for calling
Thank
me.
you for being here, Puneet. And that was it for today's episode, guys. If you enjoyed watching our episode with Puneet, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you again very soon with another guest.
Also, stay sassy with Puneet.